Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video let's take a look at Nvidia stock and also AMD, ARM, Broadcom, SMCI and Micron for the price action that the flush that I was talking about that on Nvidia we might be getting today. But I said I won't be surprised if we see a flush today, right? And I did a video on this right over here. You can see it on my channel. If you have already seen it, you already know what I'm talking about. So we got that flush today. And what from here, right? So let's start off with Nvidia. But before that, I also want to let you know, none of this is any financial advice and is only for education purposes. So we have lost $128.10 with the 20 days moving average. That's one of the pivots that we had in this ongoing uptrend. And as I was saying from the last couple of days, guys, the supply zone is coming in the retest of the previous supply zone, and rebounds are getting sold off, shorted as well. And we are not very far away from continuing lower. And I said that the likelihood, even over the weekend, I talked about when I did this video of mine, 140 or $117 as well. And I talked about in that video over the weekend as well, the most likelihood is that we'll be heading in the direction of 117. And so, yes, we have lost the pivot, and the lower pivot closer to the supply zone is activated with the loss of this pivot already, and we are continuing lower. Now, let's talk about the scenarios and the situations that we talked about and what from here we are watching in the price action for potential moves, right? So yesterday I talked about, guys, if we are not getting above 20 and 50 hours moving average, this is the level I also provided you, around 129.20 cents. If Nvidia can get above it, there can be some, we can talk about some upside continuation. However, and let me actually adjust something real quick. Okay, all good. Sorry guys. And as we lose this 128 and 12 cents around with 200 hours moving average, well, we are losing a pivot and we'll be continuing lower in the blue box. We came down to almost 124 and 58 cents, right, at one of our levels. Then we are finding one of our levels right up from here. There's this consolidation, and my level is already marked by my indicator down here. That's where we are finding some pivot and back again to the upside. But is the strength strong enough on Nvidia? So flush happened today, all right, no doubt about it. We already see that, right? That's what we were expecting most likely. As even though I was like, hey guys, I want to leave it on the technicals at those levels, but still I won't be surprised if we flush lower, all right? And we got that. And so yes, we are in the technically downtrend. We are not in an uptrend. You can use these with the break of that pivot already here. You have these lower pivots now, right? So going back to the hourly interval, and this rebound, sure, it's coming to 200 hours moving average. That's fine, but it doesn't change its structure bullish. Structure on Nvidia is still bearish. Okay, here's the thing. Time to take the profits in the short play, as I talked about, is in the extensions, and let the rebounds happen. If you're a really good scalper, you can also trade rebounds with these wicks coming in, buying coming in at these important levels of consolidation, previous pivots, little bit of a previous pivot, right? You can trade the rebound if you're a really good trader, right? And you know how to scalp, what to look for. But otherwise, just stay with the trend. Again, if you are just starting off your journey as a trader, or if you want to trade with no burden, right, with less stress, just stay with the trend. And this trend was already on intraday week. That's what I have been talking about. And once we failed to go above this area and the level that I was mentioning around 129, and we continue to break these levels like to the downside, yeah, that was a flush play. And today was also intraday short play. Down all the way to the level of 124 and 60 cents. You will never get the top or the bottom. You have to size in, size out through the journey, right? So yeah, so but yeah, you still have had a move of what, from the break of that 128 down all the way to, let's say, even if you don't get all the way down, you still can capture $3 move. That's quite a lot on intraday. Now yeah, so guys, structure is right now downside, bearish, 200 hours moving average. As long as we stay below that, we are still bearish. You can see we are already rejecting at one of our another intraday level, that is 127. And if we continue to reject, and we can fizzle down lower. Can Nvidia become bullish? Well, if Nvidia has to become bullish, from where it is, first of all, it needs to close above 200 hours moving average today. That will be the starting talking point if Nvidia can become bullish. Otherwise, no, forget it. I won't, again, technically the direction is building up for it to continue lower, but it all comes down to that 200 hours moving average, 20 days moving average. I like to see another day as well close strong lower, but again, that's why I say trade intraday these days, right? And then you can carry your intraday position into swing once this confirmation continues, right? Yeah, you can have a rollover, carryover, whatever on the shares. But yeah, I like to stay with the intradays in these things though. And then in the distribution phase, right? And then we'll see if it continues this week down to the 50 days moving average. All right, guys, that's Nvidia. Let's take a look at AMD. So if you have seen my video on AMD this weekend, I talked about AMD possible red days coming right over here. And this is what I was saying yesterday as well, guys, that AMD, I expect red days coming on this because we were finding this constant supply zone up here on the top, and then we were already extended away from 20 days moving average. So there was just more likelihood for this to continue to fall. And as I said, this week I expect AMD to sell off. It is doing that. Just don't get me wrong though, structure on this is not bearish. This is just a cool off and a pullback happening. You can see a little bit buying happening at one of these levels that I talked about, 170.45 cents. That's where I provided that blue box. But is this buying strong enough? We'll take a look at hourly interval in just a second. But I won't be surprised if we continue down to 20 days moving average. But again, it depends on hourly interval. It can, try to get a little bit bought back up here, and then we'll see if it has enough strength to keep continuing higher. But yeah, right now that cool off that I was talking about is happening. And on the hourly interval, yeah, so you can see it's coming right back down. I talked about it, guys. This is the blue box you are watching. This is where we're finding a little bit of a support. From here, I won't be surprised if we continue to a little bit rebound back up to like 20, 50 moving average or this level above. And then we see if it's sell-offs to continue, and then 200 hours moving average you're watching. But remember, this is intraday cool-offs that I have been talking about. Intraday short, yes, but overall structure on daily is not bearish. In that regards, it's just a pullback. But what you do, you take the positions in these breakouts, right? That's what I have been saying, into these pullbacks. You take profits in the extensions, right? And then you let the pullback happen, and then you see the price action again at these important levels around like 20 days, 200 hours, or these important key levels. Is the pivot forming again, consolidation, buying coming in, right? Things like that. All right, that's AMD. ARM still holding strong, guys. It's getting, again, as long as we have a blue box, structure is technically bullish, and we are still getting bought back up through and into that blue box. And the way to trade is that let the pullback happens. When you see the consolidation, important significant levels like 200 hours moving average, we see some buying happen there, right? And you can see you already start to see pivots form here, right, for the day. And yeah, that's pretty much what leads then to, guys, yeah, that's what pretty much leads to then, continuation path again to the upside, because we are at that strong level of 200 hours moving average into the blue box, 20 days moving average. And but not just that, guys, though. I talked about this is pretty much yesterday when we lost this area, 179 and 69 cents. That was already intraday cool off, and I said that I won't be surprised if we continue down to 200 hours moving average, that blue box, and that's where you are seeing the price action, and you can see that's where some rebound is coming at least. So yeah, trade it intraday only with these levels, and that would be that. All right, Broadcom, let's take a look at that. Broadcom is a little bit getting weaker here and about to lose 20 days moving average. But the thing is that with Broadcom, guys, yeah, okay. If we continue to stay weak here, continue to stay, lower, and we eventually start to lose this 200 hours moving average, I know first time it's getting bought back up because it's reacting to that 20 days, 200 hours moving average. But if we can't continue above now 169 and 61 cents, this is just can continue lower. All right, it's showing the signs of weakness and finally losing 20 and 50 days moving average. SMCI. So let's go to the daily interval first. So yeah, as I said, guys, it's just because we closed below 910 area yesterday, and I said that it's just not it's not a long play right now. Those long plays that we were getting, this supply zone has acted again upon the top, and after losing this, so this was the only long place, right? And then once we lost this pivot 910 area or 911, yeah, today you can see it's selling off. It's trying to hold above 20 days moving average again, trying to hold 883, but yeah, but today was the short play. You can see that oh, sorry guys. Yeah, after selling off, you can see we rejected underneath our 20 and 50 hours moving average, and we got all the way to 200 hours moving average. That's what I talked about. You can expect this thing to, can continue there, but anything further lower, I would say, is only the game if we break below 200 hours moving average and then 20 days and 50 days moving average. Otherwise, it can stay a lot more choppy here, guys. It may stay sideways. Still intraday, you can trade long into these rebounds. But yeah, there's 20, unless we're not losing this 20 and 50 days moving average, I won't be shorting this thing. Otherwise, just stay away from it if the price action is not even building for long right now on SMCI. But yeah, that's what was it to watch for SMCI, right? Micron. So Micron finally lost that finally lost the 50 days moving average, and we went all the way down to that blue box. Yes, it's in the downtrend now. I was wanting to wait and see if it's gonna crack lower or above, and it cracked to the downside. So that was the level it got activated below 50 days moving average. So yes, as long as we stay now below 50 days moving average, this thing can continue lower, and the next level after losing 127 and 23 cents would be 121 area. If we get above this level of 130 and 61 cents with the, oh sorry guys, with the 50 days moving average, because one day after this, just one day after the consolidation can also turn into a liquidity grab, right? So yes, intraday short, that's fine with the loss of that level, but yeah, as long as we now stay below this or into this blue box or below 130 and 49 cents, yeah, it just can continue lower, and accordingly position can be taken with the stop loss on the other side. So yes, it's continuing in the downtrend now, and those rebounds times are over, constantly rejecting into those supply zones. Lower highs are forming as well. Yeah, things like that. Alright guys, that's it for this video, and if you found it helpful, valuable, please hit the like, subscribe. If you need access to my tools that you see on my videos, links are in the description below. Tesla again today looking good. I'll talk about this in separate videos. SPY and QQ also I'll talk about it in separate video. Tech stocks are a little bit selling off today, so we'll talk what's going on there later. Alright, see you in the next videos guys. Take care. Bye.